皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So today everyone, I have a very happy announcement. As you saw in the thumbnail of this podcast, yes, I actually have started training playing the Shakuhachi bamboo flute. Yay! So it's actually been a dream for me to start training in Japanese traditional music. Yes. I already train in the katana, the Japanese sword, Iaido. I train in tea ceremony, no theater, stage art, Japan's oldest form of stage art and such. And I've always really wanted to do music, but I didn't have enough money and time and such. But recently, thanks to my YouTube channel and also thanks to you, of course, I have more time now. Yes, and I'm able to go and train. So I started, yes, every on Tuesdays, I believe. Yes, once every 2 weeks, I'm going to be going to my training, and it's going to be great. Yes, it's been only about a few weeks now since I started, but I play it every single day for my meditation, at least for 5 to 10 minutes every day, and I just been loving it so much. Yes. So in today's podcast, because I started the shakuhachi, and I'm definitely going to be talking more about the shakuhachi in the future, I thought I could talk to you a little bit about what shakuhachi flute is in the first place and about the history as well. Yes. So this is going to be today's topic. Yep. So let me start from talking about the basic information about the shakuhachi. First of all, it is a bamboo flute. A bamboo flute that has 5 holes in it. So the instrument itself is very simple. So you can see in the picture of the thumbnail, there's actually 4 holes in the front and there's 1 in the back. Yes. And by the way, there are some modern shakuhachi that has 2 more holes in it. It has 7 holes too. Yes. But the basic one has 5 holes. And also, I just explained that it's a bamboo flute, yes. But actually, it could be made from other things too, yes. Because this is one of the good parts about shakuhachi, but the original bamboo shakuhachi needs to be made by a really experienced, trained craftsman who makes the shakuhachi specifically, and they are really expensive. Yes, I have a friend who is a professional shakuhachi flute player, who I originally was going to start a new business together last year. Right, the business I had to close in 1 month. It was a Japanese music show where a guest can come and enjoy a show for about an hour. Yes, well, which didn't have. Well, it had to close in 1 month because of the COVID-19, but I have, friends with this person, but he has, of course, a lot of shakuhachi flutes in different keys and such. But for example, if we take one of his shakuhachi, he was explaining to me that it was about 5,000 US dollars. Yes. So I just explained that it's a super simple instrument, but it's actually really expensive. Yes. But what's good is that they could be made from other material as well. So take, for example, the shakuhachi I have right behind me actually right now is made from resin, yes. And that was only about 120 US dollars, so a lot easy, much affordable, right? Yes. And otherwise it could be made from wood, yes, it can be made from plastic, even metal, and there are recently some 3D printed shakuhachi flutes as well, yes. So the good part about shakuhachi is that it's really a simple instrument, and it could be made from anything really, yes. And you could just pick it up and play it, and there are cheap ones too, yes. Of course, by the way, there are a lot of other Japanese traditional instruments like the koto, the Japanese harp. There's also the shamisen, the Japanese guitar. There's other instruments as well, but compared to these instruments, shakuhachi I think is really easy to start training, yes. So this is another part I like about shakuhachi, yes. So let me move on to talking a little bit about the history of shakuhachi too, yes. So shakuhachi came to Japan about 1,300 years ago. 1,300 years ago, yes. The No Theater I just talked about that I train in has a history about 600 years, and it's the oldest form of stage art in Japan, but the shakuhachi has twice more history in Japan, actually, yes. So it originally came from China, and it was a instrument that was played in gagaku in Japan. Now, gagaku is a ritual kind of music that was played within the imperial court, and it's still played today, yes. But it's not, what should I say, like entertainment kind of music. It's more for like rituals, for ceremonies kind of music. It's called gagaku, and shakuhachi was one of the instruments that's performed in it, yes. But as time passed by, shakuhachi was actually excluded from the gagaku instruments. Many different theories why that happened. Some say that the shakuhachi, there were similar instruments within the gagaku already, so they didn't need the shakuhachi specifically. Other reasons like shakuhachi is a little bit too vulnerable to humidity, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of different theories, but eventually got kicked out of gagaku, sadly, yes. But though from there, shakuhachi got connected to Buddhism, actually. There is a temple in Kyoto called Myoan Temple, yes. Myoan Temple has a special sect called Fuke sect, yes. And they actually specifically use the shakuhachi bamboo flute for Zen meditation. It's called Suizen, blowing Zen. So you might know about Zazen, for example, sitting Zen, or Ritsuzen, standing Zen, which is actually a different way to refer to Kyudo, Japanese archery, yes. And you can call tea ceremony Chazen, tea Zen, for example. But the shakuhachi is called Suizen, blowing Zen, yes. So from here, the shakuhachi flute gradually connected to Buddhism, yes, starting from the Myoan temple I just mentioned, yes. And this Myoan temple and the Fuke sect, brought in the samurai mainly. Of course, there's different theories to it, but it's mainly actually the samurai who, for example, quit being a samurai and became a Buddhist monk. They would usually wear the big cages almost over their heads. You might have seen it before, so they can hide their faces there to do their training. Yes. So there were mainly samurai who, for example, didn't want to fight in battle anymore, or lost their professions, or became a ronin, for example. They would start training as a Buddhist monk in the Suizen, as a Fukeshu, yes. So, and from there, yes, after Japan westernized, the shakuhachi flute finally starts to become a musical instrument, yes. So before that, the performance of the shakuhachi flute was not something for people to listen to and be entertained, yes. Yeah, so it was just for meditation, for training and such. But from the Meiji Restoration, all of the the religions and everything had to change. Yes, so from there, after Westernization, there was some composers who created the shakuhachi into completely different kind of form of music, kind of different form of instruments. Yes, and it became a musical instrument like today. So today, the shakuhachi can play, for example, classics. It can play jazz. It can play even anime songs and such. If you look up shakuhachi on YouTube, there are a lot of different kinds of songs. It could be classic, like classic is like not just the shakuhachi classic songs, but like played by the for example, like Beethoven. Yes, it could be played. Songs like Beethoven and such, and all of these different songs too. So I hope if you're interested, it'd be great if you could take a look at what kind of other performances shakuhachi has too. Yes, it'd be great if you could take a look at that too. Yes. So yeah, that's basically about the history. If I could add one more, they do have two styles. In Japanese traditional culture, there are a lot of different styles, right? Like Iaido has different styles, or tea ceremony has different styles. The shakuhachi flute mainly has two styles. One is the kinkoryu kinko style, and the other one is the tozanryu tozan style. The kinkoryu is the more traditional, the older style, which carries on the culture of the Fukeshu, the Buddhist monks I mentioned earlier. And the tozanryu is the newer style, yes, which carries on the musical type of shakuhachi. Of course, they do the classic music as well, yes, but they were created more after once Japan westernized and shakuhachi became a musical instrument. My shakuhachi instructor, told me that there's not that much differences between the two styles. The shakuhachi flute itself, the structure could be slightly different, but in a way they could share the same kind of shakuhachi flute as well. So basically, there's not too many differences, but one very big difference is definitely the notes that we use. So the kinkoryu, the older style, the more traditional style, uses a lot older form of notes, so it looks almost like ancient literature, yes. But me, I belong to the Tozan-ryu now, yes, from a few weeks ago. The Tozan-ryu has this newer, easy to read kind of notes, yes. Modernized, yes. So the notes are completely different. But otherwise, the two styles, my instructor at least was saying that they're basically the same, unless you look at the really specific parts, yes. All right. So I hope this podcast was a good occasion for you to learn about the Shakuhachi flute. I literally, again, been enjoying it so much, and I do have a lot more that I have in mind that I want to do. Of course, in the future, I do want to be able to, for example, collaborate with other instrument players, like not just Japanese traditional music, but the shakuhachi can be able to be played together with the piano, with the guitar and such. So I thought that me being able to play the shakuhachi would be like what should I say? A good way to be able to communicate with more people, right? Yes. For example, even if I wanted to be friends with a piano player, for example, or pianist, or a guitarist, if I can't play an instrument, I would just say, "Hi, you play the piano, that's wonderful. Goodbye," and that would be it, right? Yes. But because I play the shakuhachi, I could be like, how we play this song together, and it'll be more occasions for me to communicate with that person, right? So that's one thing I really wanted to do. Number two, I actually want my wife Harumi to be able to play another Japanese traditional instrument. I want her to be able to play the koto, the Japanese harp, and she's really interested in music too. She was a part of the brass band club when she was in high school, actually, yes. So she's already interested in music. She already did a lot of music when she was a student, yes. So we want to be able to do a duet together as a husband and wife, yes. So that's another dream that I have, yep. So I have like a lot of things in my mind I want to do, yes. It's really, really exciting, yeah. So I hope you can look forward to it. And once I start training in a proper song, yes, I'm definitely going to be doing the weekly live streams. You know, I do the home training live streams every week, Iaido at No Theater and kimono dressing, my wife does it and such, but I'm going to be adding the shakuhachi flute performance in that too, so I hope you can look forward to it. Maybe in a few months, maybe 2 or 3 months later, I'll start doing that too, so that's going to be really great too, so I look forward to it, yes. All right, so that will be the end of today. But recently in my morning live streams on Instagram too, I started doing something in the end of every live stream and all of at the end of my live streams, I try to talk about my dream every time so I can let you know about my dream, and for me to say it multiple times, I want my dream to come closer to me. So I'm going to be talking about that every time at the end of the podcast from now on. So again, guys, my dream is to make Japan a better place for all people who want to travel or study or work in Japan, for them to have a better experience, for you to have a better experience in Japan. I want your dreams to come true. Although there are many people who have their hopes and dreams of coming to Japan and we're having a great time here, Japan is losing a lot of its traditional culture. It's going through a lot of social problems and such. There's a lot of things that obstacles that we need to overcome. I want to help that out. I want the future generations to enjoy the good things about Japan as well, and I don't want the good parts of Japan disappear, so I'm going to be doing everything I can to do that, and this YouTube channel, the podcast here, is just my first step, yes. And for now, my nearest goal is to achieve 1 million subscribers by January 2023 in my main channel, so I'm going to make that a reality as well, so I really, really need your help. All right, then everyone, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. And if you have any other questions about the shakuhachi, please let me know. Or if you are a shakuhachi player, that would be great. I'd love to be friends and love to learn from you. So that would be awesome too. Please give me a DM or a comment below. All right, thank you so much, guys. ありがとうございました。